right, so we're gonna annoy a lot of people today because one, I'm gonna take a dump all over the Snyder fans because they absolutely deserve it. We're gonna talk about Spider-Man and how I think it's an okay movie. It is just an okay movie. It's nothing fantastic, but it's also not the slop we've been getting for like the last 10 years. So I'm a kind of okay with it. I really am kind of okay with it. Do I think it's a perfect movie? No. I think it has a lot of issues. Yes. Do I think it's okay? Yes. But we're going to talk a little bit about Spider-Man. We're going to talk about the numbers, and we're going to talk about what I think ultimately Superman's going to be about. Did I say Spider-Man earlier? I don't remember. Anyway, we're going to keep going with this. So Superman came out, and it's James Gunn's little baby project here, and I went into this with really, really low standards. I was expecting, from what I've seen, just the absolute worst of the worst from this Superman movie, and I gotta say, I was impressed it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Now there are a couple things that they have admitted that they have done to this Superman, and I'm in the context of the movie, I think it's okay. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's great. The one thing that I absolutely hated that I know all the white women will love is Crypto. But getting into it, Superman just an okay movie. It seemed like it was not a Superman movie. It was the Justice Gang movie. It was the wannabe Justice League movie where they put in too many characters and Superman was kind of just another side superhero. And I think it should have been titled as such. It should have been titled something other than Superman because this was not just about Superman. Now, there were a lot of characters that were really good. Guy Gardner was a totally awesome character. He's a little bit funny, a little bit, well, as stupid as his haircut, but I think they did Hot Girl extremely dirty. Elizabeth Mercer, you could have done so much with her. Just put her in like, the leather skirt and a nice little bikini top, and just let her swing her mace around. But no, you put her in a full-fledged suit and completely, well, the only good scene was when she was getting out of the shower. I'm gonna be completely honest about that. That was about the only good scene I enjoyed with Hot Girl there. Guy Gardner's character was actually pretty good. Mr. Wonderful was okay. I didn't have any issues with that. He almost seemed like the actual hero of the movie. And then we had Superman. And I was concerned with Lex Luthor's casting, but he did a really good job. He played the part very well. The one issue I have is that anytime somebody actually started talking about something of consequence, they had Crypto come in and ruin the entire scene. But like I said, Crypto was put in there for the white women, so they're probably just going to buy a ton of Crypto merch, and that's going to make up anything this movie loses. But Superman is on track. Well, it already has in its first week beat the Man of Steel, so suffer Snyder fans. Do I think it's going to be $1 billion movie? Absolutely not. There were a lot of issues. The movie kind of picks up after a couple of years of Superman coming out as Superman. Not out of the closet, but as Superman. But if you notice here, I've been going on for this for a couple minutes now, and not once have I complained about DEI and woke casting in this because it's not there. So, rounds of applause. Rounds of applause to James Gunn. I don't know if he just got the memo that if he did woke hiring, this movie was going to be an absolute disaster, or if he just got lucky. But there really isn't. And we had a nice discussion on another channel talking about, who do the countries represent, and nobody could actually agree on who it is. So it's not overly political. It's just kind of like you actually made up some countries and had them fighting against each other, which cool. If nobody can say it's definitely this country, you avoided the politics here, and all the ranting and screaming on Twitter is just absolute BS about what political side it's taking. So I gotta give another round of applause to James Gunn. You didn't ruin that either. You kind of just made it ambiguous enough and made a fictional country and had them fight. So yeah, hats off to that. But the relationship between Lois Lane and Superman, or I should say his alter ego, Clark, I've heard a lot of people complaining that they wanted to have their hand held or they wanted the origins story of that relationship, and it's like, no, I'm okay. They start off and they have a really messed up relationship and doing all sorts of things. It's like, okay, I get it. You have a messed up relationship. I don't need more backstory than that. So I think it played too much of a part in the story. And there were a couple of times I just completely zoned out during the movie and had to watch it again to figure out what the hell was going on, because it does have a really bad time with pacing, because it goes from a ton of action to being the most boring thing you've ever seen and then picking right back up into the action. So like I said, this movie does have a lot of issues, but overall, I think it's just a good movie. They nerfed Superman, so all the fights felt like he was actually struggling, and made it seem like each fight mattered at least a little bit. And I know that's a point of contention for a lot of Superman fans, but let's be honest. You're never going to get the Superman movie you want. It's never going to happen. You're never going to cram hundreds of comic books into a single hour and a half or 2.5 hour movie. It's never going to happen. You're just going to have to deal with it, okay? But I mean, overall, it's just an okay movie. It's not the best superhero movie, but it's definitely not the worst, and it's not Man of Steel. And I think the numbers are absolutely reflective of how that's going, because its box office worldwide is coming in around $220 million. And if we jump over to the Man of Steel from Zack Snyder, that is the second week. That is the second weekend numbers. So yes, it is doing better than the Snyder film, and I'm honestly going to point that to, well, crypto and white women. Those are probably the reason it's doing okay. Well, that, and it's not the absolute garbage we've been getting. Like I said, it's not full of woke and not full of politics and not full of DEI. But I mean, there are a lot of people asking, is this movie going to be profitable? Is it going to be everything we want? Is it going to get more sequels? And honestly, it's probably going to get more sequels. It's probably going to be one of those whole series of movies because of what James Gunn wants to do. And the setup in this movie was to, well, essentially set up the Justice League. But we'll jump over here to that Park Place, and we'll take a quick look at the numbers for it. And making the long story short for you guys, Superman pretty much needs to make $1 billion to be profitable. That's not an exaggeration. That is quite literally what it needs to be profitable. We're talking about, I believe it was $250 million production budget. With marketing, you're putting that up around $500 million on the low end. So you're going to need roughly around $750 million to come out and be profitable for Superman. And honestly, it's Superman. It's never done good in foreign box offices. There's not enough people in the US to make it profitable. So it's going to lose money, which is why I think the setup is to waste money on making movies that are okay and have it all tied in together to bring all the groups of fans together, air quotes fans, the movie fans together, and have one big box office win and sell a ton of merch, which kind of sounds like what they're doing because they're selling a ton of crypto dolls, because of course they are. But here they go. The box office break-even calculations account for theater revenue shares, retain about 50-55%. So yes, there we go. 200 million, 500 million, absolute break-even for the cost of that. 2.5 times its total recoup cost. Got that for Superman using 425 million total. Yeah, 850 million, 750 million on the low end. And at a high end, $1 billion. It's never going to hit $1 billion. It's nowhere near on track. This thing would have to do absolute banger after banger after banger after banger weekend to do that. And it's just not that good of a movie. It's an okay movie. It'll probably hit 500 million, but it's not going to do $1 billion. But I mean, anybody who hasn't seen the movie yet, if you're just like a mild comic book fan, you will probably enjoy the movie. If you have a girlfriend, she will probably enjoy the crypto. Not Superman, but crypto. So I would say it's worth a watch. Go buy a ticket, go watch it on a weekend, go enjoy yourself for about 2 hours, have a little bit of fun, and call it a day. But I don't think this is one where you're going to buy and add it to your DVD collection that, for a DVD player that doesn't work, where you can't actually get a replacement. But I do think it's just an okay movie to go watch for the weekend. It's going to be a nice little funny movie with a superhero to go watch. But if you haven't seen it, go see it. If you have seen it, leave your thoughts in the comments section. I said I was going to piss a lot of people off. I'm 100% sure I did, because it is just an okay movie. Being objective, it's just an okay movie. But leave those thoughts in the comment section. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. Until the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.